The San Francisco Zoo has returned for our monthly edition of Exploring Animals, and this time things are getting a little wild in the studio. From a rescued opossum named Dozer to some truly unique animal eggs just ahead of Easter weekend. Joining us live to share more and introduce us to a very special guest is San Francisco Zoo Assistant Curator Bridget Israel and Executive VP of Marketing Paulo Vergara. Welcome back.
Hey, thanks. Thanks so much.
It's so great to have the both of you, I should say all three of you, here in the studio.
Yes.
So obviously we have the star of the moment, Dozer the Opasum. Tell us a bit about him.
Yeah, so Dozer here is a Virginia opossum. He came to us at the Curation Center of Animal Rescue and Conservation at the San Francisco Zoo by way of Yggdrasil Rehab Center.
Oh.
So him and his brother Hank the Tank, they're both with us.
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah, they're only 9 months old. They were orphaned quite young. Now, opossums are North America's only marsupial.
Wow.
So what do we know about marsupials? We know that when they're born, they're just about the size of a jelly bean.
How sweet.
Yeah, so they're really little. So if they're orphaned, they can take quite a bit of rehabilitation and care to get back to fighting form. Oh my goodness.
Hello, Dozer's so curious and hungry for the snacks.
Yes, yeah. So Dozer was rehabilitated from quite young, which is why he's so comfortable around people, which was one of the reasons that he was deemed non-releasable. When animals become habituated to people, they see us as their food source, right? So they don't know how to hunt for themselves, and that can lead to really unsafe interactions in the wild.
Right. And so the wonderful role that Dozer can play is now he can help educate the public.
Yes, exactly. So now he's an animal ambassador, both him and his brother. They're super brave. They're very exploratory. Like I said, he's only 9 months old, so he's still learning so much.
Incredible. Is he full size at this point?
So he's going to keep growing a little bit. Unfortunately, opossums are quite short-lived mammals. So their lifespan is just about 3 years max.
Oh, really?
So he's kind of in his prime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and looking fabulous.
Yes.
Tell us, too, there's so many misconceptions about opossums. And then, tell us a bit about that and why people should maybe rethink their perception of opossums, too.
No, absolutely. We talk about this all the time, about how people are so excited about wildlife when they're on vacation or at a safari, but the animals in our own backyard don't get the same respect and admiration. Oftentimes, especially opossums, I think because they look a little bit alien from us. They look a little bit jarring, maybe. But keep in mind, their best defense mechanism is really to play possum. It's to play dead.
That's where the saying comes from, right?
Yes, that is where the saying comes from. So despite how they may look, the best that they can do is just kind of keel over. And they also are very unlikely to carry rabies. Their body temperature is lower than other mammals, so the virus doesn't really survive in their body. So they pose very little risk to us in the wild, and they actually do such a service for our ecosystems.
I've heard of that, yes. They get rid of pests.
Yes, they're a cleanup crew. So they eat rodents, they eat ticks, all these animals that carry harmful diseases for humans. And they also eat dead things. So they're wonderful for us in our backyard. So
like you said,
exactly.
a natural cleanup crew.
Yes.
Now, we understand there's a lot of fun things happening at the zoo all the time. Paulo, there's a fun Easter event that's happening this weekend that folks can check out too.
There is, and I actually brought some specimens from our collection room in the spirit of Easter to show you some animal eggs here. So the large one here, and you can pick that up, just be very gentle with it. The large one is an ostrich egg. Now, that is the largest egg in the bird family in the animal kingdom. It can get up to 3 to 5 pounds, which is about 25 chicken eggs.
Wow.
So that is a beautiful, beautiful, pristine ostrich egg.
You could make a lot of omelets with an ostrich egg if you wanted to.
But we prefer to see the ostrich.
Of course, of course.
Now, you also have a dark-colored egg here. That's an emu egg. That egg is laid in a ground nest because emus are flightless birds, and so they don't end up in a nest that we traditionally think of as being in a tree. You'll find that in the grounds, which makes it a very unique type of egg experience there. So
emus and ostriches are such fun, unique animals. They have such personality.
They are. And that egg changes colors while it's fresh, between like a green and a teal and a blue. And now that there's no specimen inside, it is changed to that dark color.
Wow, that's so fascinating. Tell us too about the differences between the ostrich and the emu for those who might not be aware.
Well, they're from different parts of the world. I can tell you, you know, I think Bridget may be a little bit more of the animal expert in this, but I'm a little bit more of the expert on the actual egg specimens themselves.
Okay.
So I don't want to say anything incorrect. We're very factual at the zoo about not saying anything incorrect. So I don't want to say anything wrong to your visitors or your viewers here. But I can show you those other eggs that we have here are rat snake eggs, which look a lot more like pebbles than they do the traditional egg. And those can be found in hidden dark places like rotting tree logs.
Wow.
So fascinating is you can see and learn more about eggs just like these at tomorrow's Nature Trail Egg Venture, which is from 10 a.m. to noon at the zoo. Big Easter egg hunt for the kids, appearances by the Easter Bunny, and a lot of educational experiences to learn about how eggs play a role in conservation in the wildlife.
Oh, fantastic. And do people need to get tickets in advance of this, or can they just show up at the door?
They can show up. The Egg Venture is included with the admission to the zoo, so you can just show up to a regular box office, get tickets to come in, and enjoy everything we have to offer.
All right, and you know, we know that the weather is of course changing. We're expecting a bit more sun and really nice weather. Anything that parents can really take the kids out to enjoy with the spring break and all of that?
Well, we do have giraffe feedings right now as part of a guided tour program. So with the giraffes in this beautiful weather, it's a great opportunity to get outside with them on our giraffe feeding deck. You can also still see Cecil, which is our silverback gorilla.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's right.
Cecil is now fully acclimated to interact with the rest of the female troop. So you can see all of our gorilla troop out there at the same time at the Gorilla Preserve.
So lots of fun things to check out at San Francisco Zoo for sure. You know, I would love to turn it back to Dozer and Bridget here. You know, when it comes to animal curation, how do you decide at the zoo which animals to bring in and to rehabilitate?
Yeah, wow, that's such a good question. So at the Animal Rescue Center, we kind of have a dual-pronged mission statement. So one is that we have rescue animals, largely native rehab wildlife. For the same reason that we were talking about earlier, we really want to instill that same respect and admiration for our native wildlife that is extended to other species, because those are the animals that people are coming into contact with on a daily basis. So we want to make sure that we have secure messaging around that to just thank them for their service and leave them alone.
Yeah.
But we also have a really robust youth volunteer program.
Oh,
so
fun.
We want to make sure that the animals that are coming into our rescue center are handleable and are able to work with kids in the same capacity.
Of course.
So yeah.
Wonderful. Now, for the both of you, would love to just get a sense, you know, what is the big takeaway that you hope that visitors walk away with after visiting the San Francisco Zoo?
Yeah, what we really want to convey is the importance of conservation in the wildlife community. We want to be able to inspire people to make changes at home, at work, and in their community. And we also want the ability for our community members, especially the youth, to see animals they've only read about in books. And that really creates and sparks a profound change in their behavior. And we really hope that we can make lifelong impressions on community members about how they can interact with wildlife and help save wildlife.
Wonderful. Anything from you?
Yeah, I mean, Paulo said it all. I think all of us who work at the zoo, it started when we were really young visiting a zoo. So we are all really aware of the impact that one visit can have on a child. So.
All right, wonderful. Well, check out the San Francisco Zoo this weekend. The weather's perfect for it. So, all right, Paulo and Bridget, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.